Hi, I'm Steven. Welcome to spiritualworkout.com. This is first in the three-part video series about relationships. Relationships. You know, from a spiritual workout perspective, the best thing to keep in mind about relationships, and this is not only for intimate relationships, but even friendships and business relationships, but primarily when it comes to intimate, close, personal relationships, they're all about our own growth and development. That is the purpose of the relationship. And we'll talk much more about that in other places of spiritual workout, but I just want you to keep that in mind as we go through. So in this brief video about relationships, I want to talk to people who are single and perhaps looking to get into a relationship. I want to talk to people who are in a bad relationship and are thinking about getting out of one, and to couples who might be in one and it's not going so great and they're trying to figure it out. And you'll see that in a way, it might be the exact same process for everybody. So let's talk to you single people first. If you're a single person and you have a list of attributes that you think your partner is going to have and should have, I suggest right now that you toss that list out. That is a trap that we all fall into when it comes to attracting in the relationship that we want, and here's why. If you put your sights on attracting in a certain man, a certain woman, a certain anything with particular characteristics of income and sex and gender and ethnicity and height and weight and attractiveness and all of that, what will happen is that person will show up and you won't necessarily be happy because nowhere in this intention, and that's what it really is, are you in it. And this is what happens all the time. People say, well, the bright and perfect guy showed up. He's amazing. He's exactly everything on my list, but I can't stand him. And that's because we don't put ourselves in the intention. So if you're single, you have a list, throw out the list, come to Spiritual Workout, and we'll help you move down in the process. Now, for couples who are really, or for a person in a couple who's looking to get out and is sure that you want to get out, but you're not so sure how it's going to sit with the other person. This, again, is another trap that we naturally fall into, but it really keeps us stuck because we think we're responsible for the other person. So in spiritual workout world, take responsibility is a concept that I think really applies here, because you must take responsibility for yourself, how you feel, whether or not your needs are getting met, your own happiness, and all of that. And if you're in a situation that is not delivering to you what you want and what you need, then it's your responsibility to extricate yourself. What tends to happen, though, is instead of taking responsibility for our own selves, we start to take responsibility for the other person. Oh, he or she is not going to be happy. He or she is going to kill themselves. He or she is going to be so upset. He or she is going, right? And that's where the stuckness comes in, because guess what? There's nothing you can ever do about that. Take responsibility means we are all, each of us, no matter who we are, creating our realities and living out the purposes that we came to live out. So if we are open and honest and straightforward with our partners or soon to be former partners about who we are and how we're feeling and what we're thinking and what we need, that is what we owe the other person. If our action results in their feeling sad, lonely, depressed, angry, any of it, guess what? That is also their responsibility. Now finally, when it comes to couples who are sort of struggling, or maybe very much struggling, and are just uncertain about what steps to take, what I would suggest, and in the spiritual workout way, is for each of you, possibly separately, and probably separately, but it's okay to do it together too, to sit down and really forget about the relationship you're in the moment, even though that might not be so easy to do, and think about the relationship you would rather be in. And when I say think about the relationship you would rather be in, what I really mean is how you want to experience yourself in that relationship. I've worked with couples for more than 20 years as a psychotherapist and as the spiritual workout guy. And this is all about engaging the law of attraction and setting conscious intentions. And it's never too late to do that if you're a couple that's been together for a while, and it's never too soon to do that. But again, for couples who've been together for a while, things aren't going well, you're thinking of something, start with this. Just sit down together or separately, and again, think about what kind of relationship do you want to have, how do you want to experience yourself in that relationship, and go from there. So thanks for having me in your inbox today, and we'll see you again soon. Peace.